Sorry about your ears, but not fucking really. Welcome to the Not Podcast podcast. We're not a podcast. We just
talk.
Look like one.
We hang out.
We do what we want.
In the podcast
I don't care. I don't care what you want us to do.
I don't care either.
But because we give out so much good information and so few people know about this because it's so new.
Yeah.
What do we got to do? You got to hit like. You got to hit subscribe. And then you have to be the cool kid in your group and tell everybody about it. Because if you're the one that let people know about this show, you're automatically going to be the number one alpha in that group.
Well, yeah. And you have to comment and be like, that is the best conversation I've ever heard in my entire life. Because it is.
True story. Like, you know, the comments are going to be helpful because they're going to allow us to expand to what people actually give a shit about.
Right.
So when all you guys out there talk shit, we'll know exactly what to like combat
the things
against.
You hated, we're going to keep doing that.
Absolutely. We're going to double down on all the trolling and go, watch this, trolls.
Yeah.
Fucking feast on this.
Right.
So do it, share it, appreciate it. What the fuck are we talking about today? Well, on the Not a Podcast.
Yeah. Etiquette, gym etiquette.
I think that's a great topic.
The do's, the don'ts.
You know why we think it's a great topic?
Why?
Because Jack said it was a good topic.
Yeah.
And Jack, the producer, he knows some shit. He's younger than I am. I don't know things anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
I think things are obvious.
Yeah.
Not so much.
They're not.
Not so much common sense. So, Jack, off camera, off microphone, what's the question you got about this, bro? Flirtation
Flirting
in the gym.
What's okay and what's not.
Yeah. You guys seen those videos where like a girl sets a camera up, a guy just happens to walk by,
and she's like, this man is staring at me,
and he like glances because you've got 15 tripods and like circle lights on your ass, and he just goes, what's that?
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever been picked up at the gym?
I've had not actually at this gym, but I think ever since we are such a tight-knit community, there's not anyone here that I don't think knows that I'm like, that they don't think I'm single, you know, or that they just don't know me personally, which then in fact they would know I'm in a relationship. Like, no one here thinks that I'm not, whatever. No one here thinks I'm available, but at club. But I never had anyone like creepy. Like,
no, you never had a creep situation?
Be like rude about it. Like, I had some creepy people at Planet Fitness, like older guys, like that would just like freak me out.
Right.
But at club, I had like few people be like very polite about it, like, "Oh, can I get your Snapchat?"
So how does that start? No. I want to know that.
So one time I was literally
you're exercising.
So like for example, I'm like literally deadlifting, put it down, and I'm like sitting, and I'm like sitting here on my phone, on the ground, like on the platform, just kind of resting, and I just like.
An ominous figure from the side.
I just see this, and I'm like...
Darkness. Yep. Headphones off, right?
And like that's like one of the reasons I wear over the head headphones is because I never like to be fucked with if I'm working out. Like here is different. I like had to be like people just kind of made me in like the best way possible, which is like now I'll like literally walk around purposely with them on my neck. Like I want to go hang out with people, but like there I'd be like, please don't have anyone come up to me. Like I'm not in the mood. So I'm like, he's like, hey, can I have your Snapchat?
Just like that.
I said, first off, dude, I'm 25. I don't remember the last time I used Snapchat. Like, and that is like a very like that's still young. Like 25 is young, but like that's a very like younger thing. Even
what was the guy old?
I don't know. Maybe in his like young, like a little, like a few years younger than me is what.
Younger than you.
Yeah.
And so instead of a phone number or anything or your name,
he immediately said, "Can I have your Snapchat?" And like.
Is that normal?
Like that's no, and I mean maybe for younger people because that all that means is like you want to send pictures back and forth. You don't want to talk.
I was gonna ask, do you talk on?
You can,
Snapchat?
and okay. So here's the thing: if you message people on Snapchat, the messages will delete after an X amount of time.
Oh.
So it's a very like sketchy way of, or just a casual way of communicating.
What about you can take screenshots? No.
You can, yeah, for sure. And like it's not as like back whenever it got like first made, it was made genuinely just for like sending a quick picture that won't save to a camera roll, like blah blah. Like now you can on Snapchat, but either way, it's a very like casual, young way, immature way of communicating. So I was just like, I have a boyfriend, and he's like, okay, sorry, like, and I was like, no, it's okay, like you didn't do anything.
So no small talk,
no nothing.
Comment,
he didn't ever
compliment.
say anything, and he's never said anything to me. And
have you seen him in the gym? You was a regular.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, I have a boyfriend. He was like, sorry. And I was like, I didn't say sorry. Like, first off, I've never been someone's like, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Cause I'm not. Like, I'm not going to apologize to you, but you don't have to apologize to me for asking.
Of course.
Like,
yeah.
all of that's fine. And then, yeah, I've had like, just like random, but like never creepy. Like, just like maybe like a compliment or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. And then, if it gets to like a guy asking for a Snapchat or a number, then I'm like, no. No interest in that.
Okay, so have you had guys that you wanted to go up to? So, because I mean, gym crush is a thing, right?
Well,
like, there's
so
people...
for me, I've never worked out single. Like, I've never like been in this era of my life single, so I don't know. I don't have that perspective truly.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like, I started this like right at the time. First off, right whenever I started all of this, I was like very unavailable in my head, like just closed off. Like that would have never been on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I would have been like, okay, my eyes were on Ryan. So you know what I mean? So I was like, I was never like at the gym.
You weren't thinking about it.
Yeah. So that is like an interesting perspective to think of. It's like, I don't know how it would be to be a girl to like be after a guy in the gym.
Well, so like now I know, like, dude, like movie theaters don't fucking exist hardly. Malls don't exist hardly. So I know for a fact that the age group of fucking 16, let's say drivable, 16 to 21, like the gym is where you go to hang out, right? That's one of the biggest complaints, quote unquote, that I hear is groups of younger, teenage age people just grouping together and just considering that like a hangout joint versus actually lifting, right? Which is why I think, Jack proposed that question, is because, dude, at the mall, I knew how to pick up a chick because it was like a thing. Like my group is walking, her group is walking, like you pass each other twice in the food court and you fucking throw a bouncy ball at her or something, like there was a thing. Now it's like, well, what's the thing? And so I think that's a really good question and a good way of like realizing that if your goal is to talk to somebody and you walk up to them and you ask for their Snapchat, like that's not gonna work.
It's not impressive. Like,
well, I'm here right now and I know that we're exercising. So this is my perspective. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is my thought process. We're working out, and I am sure that there's guys who obviously think girls are cute and girls who think guys are cute, and since you work out at around the same time, you're there over and over and over and over again, and you're looking at them through the mirrors, and you do a mirror to mirror shot so they can't see you looking, like, you do all that stuff. But then it comes to a point where you're like, okay, like I would like for us to see each other outside of the gym. I don't know of the proper way to handle that because I've been married for 10 years and like the gym isn't where you picked up people when I was dating. One time when I was early college, I came back home to Chicago and I would work out there for the summer, and I got approached by a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, and never in my life had that happened. And I, the girl came up to me, I got done with the bench, and she goes, hey, you're obviously really cute, and we work out at the same time. As we have something in common. Do you think you'd like to go out to eat or something? Yeah, sure. I don't think it's a problem for females when it goes to the male side, but that's back in the day when I was doing it. So I don't know what it's like now.
Yeah.
But I would assume that the more honest you are with it, very kind, just genuine, without games, without like fucking plays, right? And then have the conversation right then and there. It doesn't have to be the whole deal. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to seal the deal today.
Right.
But just communicate.
Yeah.
Start it.
Yeah.
Compliment on like, hey, you did a really great job on that squat.
Yeah.
Most people don't squat all the way down. Good job.
Yeah.
And then fucking go away.
Yeah, just throw a little bait out there. You know what was actually what I just thought of that was so innocent and cute was one time, this is like, I don't know, some people might find this creepy because it was like a note on my car door.
Oh yeah, that's creepy.
But no,
that's
but it's
so creepy.
No, but the way it was like written was like so nice and like polite.
How do you know it was your car?
Because he obviously had like seen me get out of the car.
Yeah, because he fucking stalked you to your car.
That's the only thing I was like, no. And also like in today's day of sex trafficking, I immediately was like, do I even touch this?
No, there's anthrax on that motherfucker. You're out. No. Yeah.
But so it was literally, it was just like I see you here. I consistently like blah, 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 you look great. Would you want to get coffee? Here's my phone number type of thing. And like, I was in a relationship. I'm with Ryan. So it was at Club Fitness.
Oh, okay.
It's like, but I was like, that is so like sad. Like that's like cute sad. Like
you feel like, bad for him. Because, that's like, the word pity. Because, you don't want pity as the first date.
Because they like went out of their way to like, well, no, I'm not even doing anything about it. But I was just like, well, I texted the number and I was like, I have a boyfriend, but that's a sweet gesture. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, hey, I don't want him to be like. You don't want to destroy his. No, and be like, wow, I just got ghosted.
You should try this again with somebody else.
Yes. I like show him like, hey, that's actually a really nice, not creepy way of doing it. Maybe like not on the car door. Maybe,
that's like, what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck?
Maybe it was in my window. I don't remember where it was.
I mean, anything on your car means he knows what car you drive, right? If he puts it in the wheel well, it's not any less creepy than in the fucking windshield. It was in my gas can. Next time I went to fill up, it was inside my gas cap. That was so cute. I opened my glove compartment.
Next time I rained, it flew off.
Yeah.
No,
my center
I
console.
texted him. I was like, I have a boyfriend, but thank you. That was super sweet.
Honestly, I think it's overcomplicated. I think people, I don't know. I'm sure both sides. I'm sure there's dudes who make girls feel like ass for asking, and I'm sure there's girls that make dudes feel like ass for asking.
Yeah.
Those people are assholes.
Yeah.
And you can't change your directive based off of an asshole, right?
I agree.
And I think that's why sometimes people get timid is they go, I need to accommodate for assholes. No, let assholes be assholes. That's how you know that they're not your person. Yeah. Cool. So I guess what my best advice with the flirtation would be
what's right, what's wrong.
Just short and simple and play, quote unquote, the long game.
Yeah.
Don't seal the deal right now.
Agreed.
Create like
you don't have to like get my Snapchat before you get my first name.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That was so
How would you even want to know you want to talk to me unless you have a conversation?
Yeah.
Even if it's a 3-sentence back and forth.
Yeah.
What if they speak illiterately and you're like, I can't stand listening to you for 5 seconds?
You're strictly asking based off of looks, which, yes, that's what initial attraction is. But, like, you do not know my name. That's what was weird. I was like,
right.
What?
Okay, so in step number 1, figure out their name. All right, now this person knows that you know at least that you can call their name across the gym. And then number 2, don't make shit up.
Yeah.
Don't like try to make a story or like this. Like it doesn't have to be a fireworks the first time we talk, you know?
Right.
Just again, quick compliment. Hey, I just want to say you always head to toe, you're matching every single time. And I think that's dope.
You look great.
Good job. Walk away.
Yeah.
You know, or great squat or, hey, I just want to let you know you have a really pretty smile. I just, so my name is Bart. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah.
If she's talking to you, don't walk away. Like continue the conversation.
But if she's like, thanks.
But if she's like, hey, thank you so much. Yeah, and then go right back.
On.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to seem not threatening, and then you also don't want to seem like a fucking creep by saying like. So one time when I was working at S2, I don't know if this is gonna get him in trouble. We went to hire people. We had to figure out who's good at talking to people.
Yeah.
Right. Like obviously it's sales, so you have to who can talk. So we would go to like bars and restaurants and stuff, and we would take recruits. We would, and we'd be like, last person to not get a number doesn't get a job. Okay, so this is back in the day though. Yeah. You know, this is you can't do that shit anymore. But so we go, and so one of these recruits goes, and he comes back with a name. And we're like, dude, why do you have her name on a piece of paper? He goes, I'm going to Facebook her. And we're like, bro, she's right there right now. Like, why don't you just talk to her now? He goes, no. Like, I got to Facebook her, and then, and then we'll like start a conversation on Facebook. And then I'm like, and then you'll meet, right?
Right.
Which she's here right now. Right now. Like, why? Like, what if she wants to have sex with you today?
Yeah.
And so I think texting and everything has completely ruined that whole thing,
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to get rejected through text message than it is for someone to your face be like, ew, get away from me.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you're a genuine person, you're not creepy, you're not going to get an ew, get away from me.
Yeah.
So I think that's, I don't know if we answered the fucking question, but
probably not.
We don't do that. It's not a podcast. We do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, we just talk about it. I want to answer
your damn question. So yes, flirting in the gym. Make it
okay.
Small.
But make it not,
Make
elaborate.
it small. Make it small.
And I think you have the best bet of finding someone instead of fucking going to a bar. I think it's a good place to find someone with similar values. So I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting your shot at the gym. Just do it respectfully and do it quickly.
But that shooting your shot part, it's not a tagline. It's not a pickup line. Yeah. It's not a grand gesture. You don't bring a bouquet of flowers. Yeah. Like you just create a relationship, a friendship first.
Just meet.
And then you go, hey, we're actually hitting it off. You smile every time I pass you and shit. Hey, you want to go eat some coffee?
Yeah.
You know, you want to go to my house and look at TikTok?
Do you want to get married?
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that the note?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's my phone number. Call me if you want to get married.
Yes. Check yes.
All right. So, okay. So flirting, cool. Be normal about it. Don't be a freak. Jack, what's next? What other etiquette questions do you have?
When is it appropriate to work in with someone?
Every time.
Every time.
You can always work in with someone?
It's always
yes.
okay.
So
not a single person here owns anything in the gym.
It's a public place. That's I mean, I do physically own all the equipment.
But like I do not have the right to take up any more space than the next person. All of us pay the same amount. I say that to everyone. I've always said that. Your membership is just as valuable as anyone else's.
That's right.
That means you guys can, if 5 people on a bench on the same bench, then you guys better be ready to rest a little longer and let everyone.
But that's the thing, right? So my freedom ends where your freedom begins. When am I allowed to work in with you? Well, brother, we can all work in together. Yeah. But again, since 5 of us are using the same thing, all 5 of us are going to have to wait a long time. So if you there's 3 of us in here, dude. I mean, you can work in if you want, but now all of us have to wait 10 minutes before set. Yeah. So maybe
do 2 and 2 somewhere.
Something.
Like whatever your next movement was, whatever it may be. But yeah.
I don't know if it's because of my stature or what, but like I have literally never once in my entire career ever had someone say no when I'm like, hey, I'm gonna work in with you real quick. Because I mean, listen, you're on a machine, you do your 10 reps, and then you sit there. Mm-hmm. So while you're sitting there, instead, just stand up, and then I'll do my 10 reps. Yeah. Like, this is not a difficult thing. Like, if the machine is sitting there, like, it's not being used, like, just stand up and let me use it.
And it could sometimes be a cool way to meet someone or, like, like, have a new friendship if you're just chatting while you're resting and the other person's, like, I see conversations form that way. So that's pretty cool, too.
It's just how you approach it, right? Because if you go up to somebody and, you go, how many sets you got left? In a way that this discloses that you're upset with how long they've been using the piece of equipment, they're more likely to be like, fuck off, bro. I got 17 more sets. This
is the only movement I'm doing.
My workout today is an hour of leg press, so suck a dick. True story, at 24-Hour Fitness back in the day, there was a gentleman who would bring his newspaper in, a full-fledged black and white newspaper. Sit his ass on the bench, get his leg up, and boom, in between sets, look at the newspaper. And you just knew that as Newspaper Bob.
Well, yeah.
And you didn't bench press on Tuesdays.
Is his name even Bob?
I don't know. No one talked to the guy who brings a newspaper to the gym. He's a weirdo. Yeah. Absolutely not. So if you're getting blowback, if you're asking people to work in and you're getting blowback, I would safely assume you are asking, or your body language or your facial structure or something is being off-putting. Mm-hmm. You're being upset about it. Instead, I don't really even ask.
Yeah.
I go, hey, I'm going to hop in there real quick with you. And that way, like, there's, but again, I'm 6'5", 250. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But
I don't think I would ever do that.
So you wouldn't ask.
Me being me, I've never asked anyone to work in with them, period.
So you just skip the thing?
I just wait till they're done. And I just move to my next movement, and then I'll go back to that.
Another great etiquette thing, not to cut you off, but if you are waiting for someone's machine, do not fucking stand next to them and just stare.
It gives me like the worst anxiety when I see that happening.
Oh my God.
Stop.
The worst.
Oh my God. That happened literally while, whenever we were in Nashville a few months ago and we worked out at Planet, like for the day, it was like we just got like a day pass at whatever gym we could find. And it was like legitimately, we just saw this guy like, literally, like, I'm not getting me to you. This person's on the Smith machine. He's like, literally, it's like 2 younger, like, teenage kids. And then this grown-ass man was like, and we're like, dude,
please stop. It's making me uncomfortable.
Please walk away.
Yeah,
and then he did that for like 5 minutes, and then like right behind him's a treadmill. He gets on treadmill and just walks at like maybe 0.8 speed, and with his hands on, he's still staring at him. I was like, I can't.
That's
to get
not
out of this
good.
No.
That's the etiquette you want to avoid.
That's the worst etiquette possible.
Yes.
Me, I'm acting like I never had any interest in that machine until all of a sudden the second they're done, I'm like, oh,
I hate that machine. You guys are done? Cool. Let me just snag that real quick.
I've been waiting for 2 hours.
Well, so like bench presses, Smith machines, squat racks, the working in, if you see the person doing the weight that you're doing, then it's like a, hey, do you mind if I work in with you real quick? Right.
It is very different if you're squatting, I'm not gonna go up to you and be like,
would you mind if I work in? Yeah, dude. Do the 700-pound shifts every 3 fucking sets. So, but if it's a machine that's just a pin loaded or something, dude, come on up. And I've never, ever, I always say like, dude, of course. Yeah. It's a public place, man. Like, it's not mine.
For sure. Same. Like, I've never once minded if someone asked. And like, I just don't ask because that's just me. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking whatsoever. Like, I just can't get myself to ask. But I've never found it to be like an issue, like an inconvenience where I like absolutely had to and like couldn't. Like, in that case, I
think it's also how you build a good community is through that process. Because you know, if we and I are working in and you're doing yours and I'm like, hey man, give me another one. And I don't know you. No, exactly. Right. And you get a couple more and then I just give you a fist bump. Again, no fireworks. So where are you from and what do you do? And I don't want to fucking know you, dude. I just want to have a good workout alongside you, you know? People, I think, try to make too much of stuff. Like, let it just be what it is.
For sure.
You know? But that's a great one. When to work in. And then if you're waiting, don't stand over the person.
Yes. And I think the only time to not work in is if you have the option to not to, if it was like me with you or like something that's it's going to inconvenience both of you.
Correct.
You know,
correct.
Like working out with Jono sometimes is so hard for both of us. Like we're literally a pit crew the whole time. Like when we're just working out together and we're like, fuck, we have to like unload everything, which isn't a big deal. But if it was just like someone, you're not close with, and then like, you're going to inconvenience your workout and theirs, and just like maybe don't, but you can.
I've worked in with people who were doing more than I thought I could just to push myself from the social pressure of doing it, you know? And I'll be like, hey guys, just so you know, this is about 10 pounds more. So like, if you could watch my form, please. Oh, yeah, right on, dude. And then you just created a new bond. Yeah. You know,
well, and you just kind of complimented them. Like, hey, you just, you lift heavier than I do. So I'm going to try to keep up.
I tell you what, that's the biggest thing that I think can change the temperature of a gym. Is if you are someone who has established themselves as you know what you're doing and like you physically look the part, and instead of showing all of it off, you just consistently compliment and promote others up. Like, because if you think about it, the reason why there's so much assholeness inside most public places is because it's all just a defense mechanism against each other. Everyone assumes everyone's on the attack, so everyone just stays on defense the entire fucking time. Yeah. So instead, if the guy who looks like he's offensive instead doesn't do it and just goes, hey, you're doing awesome, or compliments, now no one has to play defense and they can be comfortable just being themselves where they are and not having to promote, you know, puff their chest out or do an extra 5 pounds if they know they can't, you know, type of stuff. Yeah. I think that's a big reason why this place has turned into what it is, you know, hurt people. And in a lot of public places, there's people who are hurt using the place as therapy to like unhurt themselves. But in order for that to happen, unfortunately for a large part of the population, they need others to hurt more than they hurt in order for themselves to feel better. So if I'm not very, you know, if I don't think I'm big enough, I'm going to make sure you feel smaller than I do. But if I fucking am happy with my size and I'm happy with my strength, I'm going to try to lift you up because I know how good it feels to feel lifted up. Yeah. Right? And so you come here and all of a sudden everyone's like super fucking supportive and helping each other. Whereas you go anywhere else. And what's funny is all of these people used to belong somewhere else. Other
places, yeah.
Right? But they didn't act like they do here, there. And that's why. Yeah. It's because the majority of the people in the public are just trying to, you know, I don't want a bigger house. I just want yours to burn down. Yeah. Then my normal house will look bigger than your burnt down house. Yep. You know, and that's bullshit. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Using multiple machines at once.
Oh, this is a good one.
Like this a superset?
Yeah. Okay. This is a toughie. This is a toughie because, again, there are great workouts that involve multiple fucking things at once. And you should be able to do those hard workouts. However, it's a public place. So to have the audacity to believe that I can put my water bottle on something across the gym, leave for 7 minutes, and then be upset when someone's working in on it, that's making you a jerk off.
Yes. Yep. I think, in short, I think, yes, you can, but do it, like you said, like, do it efficiently. Don't leave your shit forever. Whenever I'm supersetting, I pick 2 things very close in proximity.
You try to
each
keep
other,
it close,
so I can the whole time read the room and see if someone's like trying to get to one of them. Also, literally like obviously the podcast can't see this, but like our leg press is here and like our leg extension is here. I will superset those 2 a lot because they are genuinely right next to each other. And even whenever I'm moving from here to here, I still take my stuff with me.
Really? So you don't leave it on the old piece?
Because I don't like hold machines. Like I will use 2 at the same time, but I never hold any for myself. That's just like my own personal rule of using 2 at once or whatever. But I don't think it's wrong if someone is like holding a machine like with their water bottle. Like I don't do that, but also like you have to gauge how long you're gonna be.
Well, and that's like, so what you said is trying to keep them as close to each other as they can. What you can do is like if I'm doing the leg press and then I see someone walking over to the leg extension and they see my phone and they start walking away, I'll be like, no, you go ahead, guys.
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
I'm supersetting, but go ahead. Because again, it's just sitting there. So obviously it'd be dumb for me not to let you use something that's not being used.
Yes. And
just know that I'm coming.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be there in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know. But that gets screwed up by the guy who does 6 fucking exercises and then gives you hella attitude when you walk over and just start using an unused piece of equipment. And he's like, what the fuck, man? I was on that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You were literally not.
Yeah.
I was here, and then you walked up to me.
Yeah.
So who was using it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's weird.
But
like you can't expect no one's watching you.
Dude,
in
no
the
one
gym,
gives
so
a
no
shit
one
about your
knows
workout,
where
bro.
you were, or where you're coming.
Right.
And like, yeah, if you're not currently at a bench,
dude, it's
and
not
none
your
of
bench.
your stuff is at a bench, and all of a sudden I'm at bench, you can't be like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You know, you weren't, but like I can easily move. Just be like, hey, do you mind? Like I have a thing going. Like if there's other, okay, sure. I don't.
Again,
care.
it goes
like,
back to like I walk up and go, hey, I'm gonna work in real quick.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say like I was using that because I can't because it was not being used.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
It's the weirdest.
It's not
thing.
mine.
People it's every single thing with etiquette is all about your approach. Like people are just
Agreed.
weird.
Agreed.
Like, I'm like, why'd you have to make it like that?
Well, because they're playing defense.
Yeah.
They assume you're gonna chew my head off. So if you're gonna be less likely to chew my head off.
Yeah.
No. Now you're gonna have to puff up.
Yeah.
To not be ran over.
Yeah.
So now we have a fucking wall. Right. Exactly. If instead I'm like, hey man, real quick, I'm gonna get 2 more sets in real quick. You can work in, no problem. Yeah. Oh, okay, bro. I didn't know. Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah.
Versus,
done.
Hey, I'm using that, man.
This empty bench where you just came from.
You are sweating because you just ran 6 miles away from the fucking. You were definitely not using it. But I mean, all this stuff is important. All this stuff is important. These are great points, Jack.
And they apply to all gyms.
Yes.
The thing. These are very basic things.
But these change the environment.
They do.
This is literally when we talk about community or environment. This is exactly what we're saying.
For sure. Yeah.
Because these are the differences. So yeah, I mean that's a big thing. Supersetting, you go for it, but
yes, I think it's
your
definitely
superset
okay.
Is not more important than anybody else's workout.
Yep. You don't own any space in the gym. Again, that goes in the same hand in hand with working in with someone. Yeah.
My freedom ends where your freedom begins. Next one, Jax. I'm loving these, bro.
I love these.
You've got personal trainers in the gym, and it's kind of their job to be personal trainers. Is it okay for me to just, like, even if I see a personal trainer and I'm not one of his clients, be like, hey, can you watch this form? Or how?
Yes.
You mean so Jack is asking if he sees a personal trainer and he's just a normal gym goer, is it okay to ask a personal trainer to watch your form? Absolutely.
That's like their dream. They love that.
Yes.
Like literally they love it. And 100%. I do it all the time to the guys. Like all the time. It's usually like, I feel like I see Sam and John out here the most around the time I'm working out. I'll always just be like, come here now. Like even if I didn't work with them or whatever, if I was just a member, I would still do that because they love it. And they're very like, they're educated for a reason. They are trustworthy. So you can ask anyone to help you in the gym at any time, but personal trainers I think would be your best bet because they're so educated and they know, and that's their literal like their passion. You know, like they fill their cup based off of that. Like they feel fulfilled when they are we just help.
Like because it's again that's another obvious one for me. Are we thinking that because it's their job, it's not nice to ask to do it for free? What I think is true is if you do go up and say, hey, I'm about to PR my squat, could you please just keep an eye on me? Is very different than you going up to them every single day and asking for a spot.
Yes.
Right? So if you see them 3 or 4 times a week and you're like, hey, can you look at this? Hey, what do you think I should do here? If you've asked 3 or 4 questions and they've given you, because I guarantee they'll keep giving you answers. Because that's good human beings who are passionate about training will consistently help you for free. But in order not to be an asshole and not to take advantage, you have to do one of 2 things. You have to limit your questions to something that you literally cannot find out on your own, or hire them.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you go to your buddy who does mechanic work and you constantly bring him your broken fucking car and that's the only time you talk to him, you're taking advantage of your buddy. So asking him once in a while to check a new car you're going to buy, that's fine. But if in the gym, if you're, you know when you're, like if you have to ask yourself, have I asked too many questions? You have. If you have to ask yourself, am I taking advantage of this person? You are.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if it gets to that point, then that's why you're asking, because you feel like you are.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right?
I think also we're a little spoiled here because all of our trainers have been, that's just who they are. They have very good relationships with everyone. So I feel like everyone here, all of our members feel very comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Like I never asked any like trainers for help at previous gyms because I didn't know any of the trainers because I've never had a trainer.
Yeah.
So I feel like at other gyms, it's very common for only their clients to know them. Like just members don't know the trainers.
Sure.
From just like my normal perspective, like what I always gathered was like, I didn't know any of the trainers' names. I didn't really know who was a trainer unless they were in like a shirt that said they were training. And I only really ever saw them in the gym if they were actively with a client. Like ours are just kind of always here and like, and also just friends with everyone. So like here it's very comfortable. So I think it should always be acceptable, and it is acceptable and it is always okay, but maybe people just don't always feel comfortable with it because they look at trainers as such professionals. Like they're only trainers when they're training.
True. Well, and the ultimate thing of it is you can ask the guy as many questions as you want. Like I would never say don't ask a trainer a question if you have one. But as with any like interpersonal thing, make sure you're giving more value than you're getting. Like I personally try to always make sure that any person that I know gets more from me than I take.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're going to be asking the trainer a bunch of questions, and let's say you can't afford training, that happens. Get him a client.
Yes.
Talk about him or her to your entire circle. And then maybe 3-4 weeks down the road, he gets a message from someone on Instagram saying, hey, my really good friend Jack has talked so much about you. I've been looking for a new trainer. Do you have a time for a consultation?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dude, of course. Like thank you, Jack.
Awesome.
Appreciate that. You know. But that's just
agree.
human stuff.
For sure.
That's not
Dude,
even.
I do that regularly.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh no, like this is something Jono taught me. Hey, I never felt this movement until Sam showed me this. You should try this because I used to try it. I used to struggle with this, but then Sam showed me this, and then they'll do it and be like, oh my god, I feel it too. Like. Okay, they're now noted that, like, Sam's the one who taught me. Like, he's the one who clicked that. Or, like, Jono taught me this little tip and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think that is super important just to kind of throw their names out as often as you can.
Absolutely.
If you got value from someone, then, yeah.
Just like this, not a podcast. If you get value from the podcast, hit like and subscribe and share it with your friends. You got hooked up by Ryan's buddy.
Yes.
Your washer and dryer for free.
Yes.
You are going to tout him and his business
absolutely
to every human being.
Yes.
So a person that helps people indirectly thinks like I do. I go, karma needs to be on my side.
Yes.
And the only way I'm going to do that is I'm going to help people as much as I can help people.
Yeah.
So be that karma for them.
Absolutely. Well, literally, it's like like the other day whenever I got the washer and dryer, you said to me, you're like, dude, you must have done something right. Like, this doesn't happen to normal people, like, talking to me. And I'm like somehow I've had enough good karma in my life to be surrounded by another person who's, like, passing forward their good karma. Correct. And now I'm going to get it back to him. So, like.
Yeah, and you're going to actively want to do that.
A good circle of good people doing good things for each other.
And that's why people who are in negative headspaces get so pissed off when they're, like, observant of other circles or people, because they're like, no one does anything nice for me ever. Nothing ever goes my way. And then here's this group of 12 that like fucking everything always free washer and dryer and tons of people at his gym.
It's so funny. Like I've had very like shitty things happen, but I just have also just like insanely good things happen all the time. And I'm like, I don't know how or what happened to get me here. But it's just, I guess, I just keep living life the way I'm living. And that's just what's going to happen. If you're good will come to you. But yeah.
Ask the trainer.
Ask the trainer always. Yeah. But don't abuse it. Just like you wouldn't abuse anyone's knowledge on anything. Like you said, if you're gaining something from them, then just try to get them a little something back, just by word of mouth. I
mean, shit, even something small. We'll move on, but something small, like even just like a gift card or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like
it doesn't. Helped me the past
thank you so much. I can't afford $1,000 package, but here's $20 to Starbucks or some shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
So. Love it. Keep going, bro. On a roll.
Opposite end, if you see someone struggling, giving them advice, is that a no-no?
This one.
So this one.
So good, dude.
These are such good because everyone has all of these questions all the time.
Fuck me.
No, so this is another big one where approach is so critical. If you see someone like literally going to hurt themselves, it's like your duty. You have to find a way to say something, but it is like the most uncomfortable thing. Because we've been over this, I'm such a people pleaser. I don't want to make anyone upset ever, but I'm like, I don't want you to literally break your back in this gym. And like, I could have stopped it, but like, I don't want to embarrass you either and be like, hey dude, that looks like shit. Like, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So that sucks. It sucks.
This is the reason this is a hard one is because there are people in the gym who've been in the gym, let's say 3 or 4 years, and they themselves have progressed a little bit, right? I would call them amateur, novice, intermediate skill sets. That confidence that they got knowing this much more than they used to, now they want to tell everybody everything.
Yes.
They're the guys who, hey, you know what? It'd be better if you put your elbow here, and why don't you try that? And like 98% of the time, it's bullshit, terrible information that you've probably seen on TikTok, right?
Yes.
And that's what's destroyed people's ability to walk up to others and help is because of this group that thinks they know everything and is like, instead of like, you can tell when someone's not trying to help you and instead of trying to make themselves sound smart.
I know what I'm doing and I want to show everyone and you and yes.
Right?
Yes.
Fuck that guy. Don't talk to me.
And it's the false knowledge that's even better is whenever they come and like present you with this grand thing and you're like, that's not real. Dude. Like what you just said, how many people are you teaching this because that's not good information?
And you know, if you are a first timer, like it might be helpful. But if you're going to approach, it cannot be from like, I know more than you, so let me help you.
Yeah.
It needs to be more of like, I'm really proud of you for fucking being in here and kicking ass effort-wise. Let's make it as efficient for you as possible.
Yeah.
So on those squats, biggest thing to just focus on is blah, 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 right? Versus, hey, you're going to hurt your back doing it that way.
Yes.
Hey, does your back hurt usually when you lift? Hey, how are your shoulders feeling usually?
Yes.
Like, that type of approach means, you know, I'm going to be smarter than you on this.
Yeah.
The flip side, though, then is I've had, you know, I know what the fuck I'm doing a lot. And there's been people who come up to me. I am sometimes doing very unique type movements that I know aren't all the way.
Yeah.
Like, you'll work on the top half of a squat.
Yes.
Or you'll work on, right?
Yeah.
And then there's people who I'm like, dude, you're not even going down all the way.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
So it's tough for me now because I have stopped assuming I know what people are trying to do. Right? So now I help people less than I used to unsolicitedly because now I'm like, I don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
If I don't know your goal, I can't tell you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like what if
like it's agreed.
What if go ahead.
What were we gonna say?
So there you go. Here you go, sorry.
My one example of this, of someone actually doing this to me at Club Fitness was like, I guess like it's like a form of RDL on the hack squat, like doing it reverse with your face on the pad. I saw that and I like had been wanting to try it. And I was like, God, I know I'm going to do this wrong, but I have to try it, right? I had no weight on the thing. I was like, I'm just going to try it. And I've watched a lot of videos on this. This was like during my era of like, I've taught myself everything. I didn't have any relationships with like trainers or anyone to like utilize at that gym. So I was like, I'm just gonna try this. Immediately I'm trying it, and it felt fine. Like it didn't feel like, I knew if I like started feeling this in my back, like stop again, didn't have any weight on the thing. This like way older man who always, it's typically that age. Like, I hate to stereotype anyone, but like they know everything in their heads, and like comes up to me, he's like, you're gonna hurt your back so badly. I said, I'm immediately like, I'm me. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I know. I've never done this before. I'm like, I didn't feel great, but it didn't feel bad. I'm like kind of joking with him. He's like, no, seriously, like you should not be doing that. I said, well, like I see a lot of people do this like at this gym, and I've also seen a lot of videos of this, and I just know it's a different target, just using this machine in a different way. First off, I've hack squatted for the very first time like a few weeks ago because I was so scared of those machines. Now I'm just trying new things. Like I'm trying to switch up my workouts. Like I'm pretty new. He's like, well, yeah, you just doing that is just very, he just keeps going on and on and on. I was like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's enough.
Yeah. I immediately was like, okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I shit you not, I haven't done it since. I haven't even attempted
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Go right now.
But
it's right
he
there.
was like,
Go
he
do
was
it.
like, because like he was just nonstop, and I was like, you couldn't pay me to keep doing it right now because I just know he's just because he's also one of those guys just like in the middle of the gym and he's like wearing jeans, hitting chest like every day.
Don't take advice from people you don't want to be like. That is
I
why.
I was like, okay, and like thank you, and my whole day was me being me. So, but
and it's always a bend over movement that they fucking diagnose,
right,
don't they?
A, don't look at me.
Yeah.
B, what? But okay, if someone had come up to me and been like reading my body language, is like you know, I'm sure everyone could see it. I'm like, fuck, like what are we doing? And then they kind of stopped, and I would almost like laugh to myself after one, and then kind of like readjust, check my phone. If someone was like, hey, have you tried that movement before? Like, I'd be like, oh my God, please. Like, someone actually did that to me one of the first times I was deadlifting, and it was so funny. It was like, I like prop up my phone and record it and send it to Ryan and be like, and he's like, holy fuck. He'd like send me a whole list of stuff to like, he's like, that's really good. It's like so funny rewatching the video. It's like horrendous. He's like, this is really good.
Great
but like,
job.
do all this different too.
And
then like, so I saw someone like someone saw me, like a guy saw me like prop up my phone. I was like, yeah, I'm sending his wife. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to just like send it to my boyfriend. He's like helping me, and he's like, here, let me. So he's like literally like step by step, like in person, showing me how to deadlift. And that was like the coolest thing ever. And
because
so helpful.
It was for you.
And then I kept doing it there because I felt comfortable to keep doing it. Like, I think if you like correct someone so harshly to the point they like stop doing the movement and just like walk away, it's so discouraging because it's like truly I've never done it since. And like that's dramatic because like that's me. I'm a very sensitive person. But like even if not, like I could have done it since, but I wouldn't have finished doing it that day because now I feel like very judged and like embarrassed. Like that's the thing is like everything looks so embarrassing the first time you try it, and everything feels embarrassing the first time you try it. But then if you notice people are like watching and like being like, you're doing that so terribly that you're gonna hurt yourself so bad, that's like. And he's like, then he's like talking about how young I am, so I'm not gonna feel it now because it's like, oh well, you're lucky you're so young, so it's not gonna hurt your back now. But I'm like, dude, shut up. Yeah. And I like, I'm not even kidding. Like at that point, I was at least seasoned enough to like know that it wasn't that bad, like to where he was making it sound like. There was times when I first started when I was still at Planet Fitness, like I know everything I was doing was that bad, like because it truly it has to be. Yeah. But yeah.
And then he wrote a note and left it on your car.
Yeah, that was him.
That was him for sure, guaranteed. But and you're still nice to him.
So I think I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's in your approach, and also, yeah, it's the false information. If you're gonna do it, make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about. Like literally, my coworker at my restaurant job the other day came up to me and was like. She was like, I need you to show me how to RDL because I don't ever feel it in my butt. And I was like, oh, that's so common. I was like, okay, let me show you. I'll tell you all my cues. I'll tell you all this stuff. So we're like literally doing gym class in the middle of this restaurant. And I'm like, we're like, our tables can wait.
Yeah, of course.
We've got gym class to do. She's like, well, I just know that you can't bend your knees. And I go, what? She said, well, I know you can't bend your knees and you have to keep your legs straight. I said, yeah, for your hamstrings. I said, for your butt, you have to bend your knees a little bit. She's like, what? I said,
see?
She's like, literally watched a video on how to RDL, and was like, do not bend your knees. I said, yeah, great. I said, you have to. I said, that's a very common thing to just watch video. I said, it's like good for you for watching videos. Like that's exactly what I used to do. But take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt, and honestly, take everything you hear with a grain of salt, unless it's someone you're very a lot of trust in. Like, So then I showed her, and she's like, I was like, you should be able to feel this right now with no weight. I was like, I do. Do you? And she like did one, and she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay. Now try that with weight, and you're golden. And I'm like, cause look, and I like, I fixed everything. And I was like, but that's just a prime example of like, it on the internet, like certified personal trainers online are posting these videos of things, and like I'm like, what the fuck?
The fastest way. And unfortunately, I got to wrap up here. I got a client here in a minute. But the fastest way to like combat all of this stuff is just pick out the person that you most like admire because they do things correctly. They have a good personality. Their character shows, even without having to talk. Like you can tell they're just to themselves and they do the right shit and they work hard. If someone asks you a question, help them. Yeah. Right? If no one's asking you any questions, it's more likely because you're not qualified to answer them, right? So if I work my ass off in the gym and people can see me squatting, they can see me deadlifting, they can see me doing these things for weeks and weeks and weeks, they will ask me. Anyone who wants to get better will ask me. If you don't want to get better and you think things aren't right, but you're okay with them not being right, that's not on me to change. Very true. I need to let you hurt yourself if that's what you have to do. You know what I'm saying?
And in all honesty, if you see like a brand new beginner in the gym and they're not doing it right, you can tell, and like you can like that's whenever you can either like offer help or an okay approach here would be like introducing yourself and just being like, hey, if you ever want to work out together, if you have any questions, like let me know, and then you will know next time they will utilize you.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to be the one to be like fix this. Just be like, hey, my name's this. I see you here. You're doing great. And now they feel like they know you, and now they'll be comfortable.
Open the door.
Usually people can feel if they're not doing it right. They're just too uncomfortable to ask.
Correct.
And now if they know you, they'll be comfortable to ask.
Hey, I'm Bart. I haven't seen you in here before. I'm a regular. Yeah. I think it's awesome that you're kicking ass. If you have any questions or if you don't know how to do something, I'll be happy to help. Yeah. And then walk away. Yeah. Right? And now next time they do need help, they'll ask you. And then you don't have to ever fucking guess if you're butting into things that you don't belong in. Yeah. And
there's nothing more annoying than
dude.
Your workout getting interrupted and you're like,
even if I didn't do something correctly, it may have been my last 3 reps and I know I did them wrong. I don't need you to fucking tell me. I know it. But dude, I was pushing myself. Yeah. So fuck off. Yeah. So I guess the best way to, again, just to say that from my opinion is just be someone people want to ask questions. Yeah. And then you don't have to worry about it. You never have to
offer advice because they'll come get it from you.
That could apply to life.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly.
How many business coaches wouldn't be coaches if no one asked them fucking questions, right? Yeah. Like there's so many people telling you their advice. Yeah. Like we're only doing this because obviously millions of people have asked us to do a podcast. We have 22.
Today we hit
10 million today, guys. Congratulations and thank you so much. Appreciate it. September 4th, 5th.
August, September. That's my favorite month is August, September. 5th.
We need a 13th one. Did you know, fun fact, and this is the last thing, that if we had 13 months, every single one of them would be 28 days exactly. There'd be no offset months.
So satisfying.
Rextober.
Yeah. I would love another Ober month.
Right?
Or just another Burr. Because those are the best months. Yeah. September through December.
Yeah.
Best months.
Not a podcast. Thanks,
we
Jack.
may have to do a part 2 of
I think so. I think you got more. You got more?
Yeah. Okay,
all right.
Good.
Part 2 next week of etiquette policing. All right. Thanks. You didn't feel good, but you fucking
sorry for the congestion.
Go ahead and if you need to send any goodie baskets to Connor, she's not feeling well. It's 1300 Rustique Square, O'Fallon, Missouri 63368.
All 10 million of our subscribers.
Send $1. Send $1. $1. Everybody send $1.
I'll be able to find the cure for this.
We'll get that NyQuil
that I'm battling.
That's right. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Peace.
Bye.